tuning in with your girl. It's going down with Mahogany Brown. Thank you so much. Today's show is going to be awesome. You know, I like positive words. Phenomenal, awesome, of course. Strengthening words to each other. We have Baltimore Ceasefire here today. I'm going to have each individual lady introduce themselves, and then I'll talk to each individual lady, the position that they play and the meaning behind Baltimore Ceasefire. Start. You.
Hi, my name is Erica Bridgeford, also known as E Wonder, and I was mad one day and thought somebody should call it ceasefire, and then I asked my friends, let's do it, and that's how it started this go round.
Okay.
Hi everybody, my name is Ellen G. I am the director of the Evolution of Perspective, which is an initiative that I started to help to bridge the communication gap. And I am an E Wonder supporter. So when she called me and was like, I have this idea, I was like, yup. I ain't even hear what it was.
Exactly,
I was like,
right.
yup, come on, let's do it. And so we're here.
Okay. So right now I just want to just do a few seconds of silence of everyone that's been slain in the streets of Baltimore City. Just a silence to just protect their loved ones, people they left behind, the thoughts they left behind, the memories that they left behind here on these streets, and just a few moments of silence for everyone that lost their life. All right, we're not spiritual individuals, but prayer changes things. Yeah, we're not religious individuals here, right? But prayer changes things. So just say a special prayer for anyone that you know or in contact with or touch that may not have someone here today. This is a sad situation. So I'm gonna begin with you.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna lead everyone up to your why. A lot of times we have to paint the picture of the why. We can't just put a photograph up or put a Facebook post because people aren't affected. So I usually draw a vivid picture of what started you initially caring, what elicited your emotions, what decided you to be like, I cannot do this no more, but my people can come together as a whole and stop what we're doing today. Just where did it start? Before the Baltimore ceasefire was conjugated, how were you affected by the acts of violence in Baltimore City?
Okay, so I grew up in West Baltimore, like Bloomingdale and Poplar Grove
West
area.
Side?
Yes, I'm a West Baltimore girl through and through. And so I've been going to funerals since I was 12 years old.
Wow.
And so the first time I was impacted by homicide, I heard somebody get shot around the corner and watched them run and like fall right in the blacktop in front of my bedroom window.
Okay.
And so I listened to him waiting for the ambulance to come. You could hear him off in the distance. And he was saying, please don't let me die. Please don't let me die.
Wow.
And the next day when I got home from school, I found out he was dead. And his name was Mike, and he was one of my favorite people in the neighborhood. And I was 12 years old, and I think at the time, he was one of the big boys to me. So like he was like in his late teens, early 20s. And I was devastated because up until that point, only old people had died in my life. And then after that, it was just murder after murder, and T-shirt after T-shirt with somebody's face on it. And me speaking at funerals and doing peace work. And I teach conflict management and mediation all around the state of Maryland and sometimes around the country. And so it's heartbreaking to be doing this work every day and still seeing bodies dropping. And then in 2007, while I was in the middle of a mediation training I was training the Office of the Public Defender to be mediators when I got the call that my brother was murdered.
Wow.
And that was 2007.
So your brother was murdered in Baltimore in 2007.
In Baltimore, yeah. Before that, I had they have not found who killed him. The hood knows who killed him, of course.
Right.
But the police have not found who killed him. I have another brother who was shot by a friend a few years before that, and that's actually how I got into mediation work.
Okay.
And he was dead on arrival, but he ended up surviving. He woke up some days later after being dead coming back. Right. So I call him my brother that's not dead. And then a few years later, we actually lost a brother.
Oh wow.
So and then I have cousins. My aunt lost 2 out of her 3 sons. and just countless cousins and friends. And so this year my son was asking me, Ma, did you know that the murder rate in Baltimore is higher than it's ever been? I was like, I did not know that. And so I started fussing about like these organizations who say they got street cred, why they not calling a ceasefire and telling these people to stop doing it. And so I went off on this real bad vent because my mouth is savage sometimes. So I went off on a bad vent, and then I woke up the next day and I was like, oh, if I'm that mad about what somebody else is not doing, that must mean that I need to use my resources and my community and my connections to do it and reach out to the people who I'm fussing about.
Right.
So that's exactly what I did. And everybody, almost everybody so far has said yes, they think it's a great idea, and they're with it. So
with mediation and conflict, I think that's a big concern in the young black males in the Baltimore City community. Can you just give on some key points or topics that you discuss with mediation and conflict?
Yeah.
I think we text so much, we're so connected within the internet that we barely see each other, that we became impersonal.
That's right.
To each other. We don't know how to talk.
Yeah.
So what is some conflict or mediation resolutions that you come up with, or your organization has?
So what we do at Community Mediation is we provide free mediation services for people who are having any kind of conflict.
Wow.
So it can be just, your dog keeps pooping in my lawn, to I punched you in your face and now we need to,
Before
so
they
it can
go
be
on snap.
right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, all kinds of conflicts can be mediated. It is free, it's confidential, and so it means people can literally come into a mediation, even if the conflict is really about something illegal. They can have that conversation, and the mediators don't report it to anybody.
All right, I'm pretty sure it's just conflicts within families, within communities.
All kinds of baby mama drama.
Right.
All
so
of
where
it.
can I probably need to come? So where?
So the Baltimore City Community Mediation Center is located at 3333 Greenmount Avenue, but you don't need to go there for the mediation. Okay. So you contact the center, 410-467-9165.
You want to get this information again?
Yes. And let them know you have a conflict. They listen to your situation. They let you know if it's appropriate for mediation. Most of the time it is.
All right, well, real conflicts. Not Pookie ain't giving you 2 bundles because you paid for 3.
All of it.
That too.
Oh, all of it. That's
real.
why it's confidential, because we want people to feel safe to really and resolve what it's really about, not just the surface.
I really think that is really necessary in this community, because we hold so many grudges with each other, and I ain't never talking to her. Then you on defense and guard, and it's like kill or be killed.
And people are shooting each other over misunderstandings. When you actually sit face to face with somebody and found out how many other people were throwing shit in the game, and that's not even what you said and what you meant, or whatever, people are killed before misunderstandings get cleared up.
Oh, that's true.
So,
I've been in conflicts where there's a misunderstanding, and a lot of things, like I said, is text. Text to me is a horrible form of communication, because first of all, you need to understand someone's tone and facial expression. Nonverbal communication is, I believe, 80% of your communication. So if you're not in my face or talking to me, you're not really understanding the message that I'm really understanding. Right. But we'll text each other before we even talk to each other.
Have a conversation.
And sometimes, depending on whatever it is that I'm going through in that moment.
That's
so
true.
you might text me at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I respond to your text very differently than I would at 10 o'clock at night, depending on what is happening with me and my, my personal.
Have you been directly affected by anyone has been murdered or a homicide in Baltimore City?
So I know people who know people.
Okay.
I lost one of my family members to violence, and there's still some mystery around her death. But I have not personally been directly impacted, which gives me a very unique perspective, because I watch people around me, people who I'm very close to, lose people who are close to them.
That's funny you said that. I haven't had any close family members directly to me, and I think God or whatever blessing hold on that, but I see people I know posting rest in peace, and that kind of affects me a lot. Like someone I know, a young child who has a 6-year-old, has a 4-year-old, has a 2-year-old, no longer is here because someone decided to take their life.
Right.
I'm not sure if both of y'all heard about this story. We call the projects, I believe, on West Baltimore, we call it Chocolate City. Chocolate City, right there by North Avenue, Poplar Grove area.
Okay.
And a young lady was tired of what's happening in her community, and she called the police. Anything she saw, any illegal activity she felt, so she thought it was her duty, her right to protect her kids in her home and her environment to call the police. And she was later retaliated against. She was killed.
This was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yes. So
Yeah.
I wanted to get
a mother of 8.
and that touched me because I know I would say something. And sometimes we live in the element where we can't change our element until we go in numbers.
What neighborhood was that?
We call it Chocolate City. That's all I
said
know
it was
about. It's by
that's
North
where
Avenue,
I grew up.
North Avenue,
And Poplar Grove.
like Poplar Grove
That's where
area.
I grew up.
It's
so
all
that's
brown.
one of the first places we need to hit when we start doing.
It's serious, and until the point where
the second place
when
at
she
the
was
Diamond.
no longer here, she lost her life. Now nobody want to talk, and
That's right. Now people gonna be scared. Right.
That's a concern for me. So hopefully, we're going to begin to talk about the Baltimore ceasefire. It's not about talking. It's not about snitching. It's about stopping. It's about letting it go.
Right.
It's about somebody else not losing their life.
Right.
Yeah.
And there are more ways to resolve conflict. Unfortunately, people sometimes only have in their mind access to one way to end conflict, and that's through violence.
Right.
They don't understand that they have other recourses, and fear is a huge motivator. If I might not even know exactly what's going on in your mind, but if I'm speculating and I'm assuming that you won't get me before I get you,
right,
then my response is going to be, I got to get you before you get me.
Right. I had a Facebook friend had a really good position, and what he said was, the violence is not the biggest problem in Baltimore City. It's the poverty. Because if there's so many people below the poverty line, they don't have any resource, they don't have any access, so it results them to violence. So instead of, I think we're focusing sometimes on the wrong issues. Like if we get to the core, a lot of time we patch the pipe up because it's leaking, but we don't fix the pipe.
I think without, and I agree that poverty and capitalism play an important role in the way that people are cultured into how they deal with conflict.
Yes.
I think, though, that it is important to listen to the people who are actually committing these crimes and the people who are taking people's lives. I know it's not that easy, but to have a conversation with somebody who, because I'm not willing to take anybody's life. Like, that's not how I wake up in the morning thinking, or if somebody say something to me, I'm gonna kill them. I would be interested in listening to the people who have that mentality to find out at their core
point.
Right.
What do they think? Like, are they thinking in their mind, "Oh, I'm doing this because I'm poor"? Are they, or is it something more to it? Because we can hypothesize all day long because we're not the ones with the guns.
Right.
Yeah. One of my favorite things is going into jail because I get to talk to people
So how was
who
that
have done all kinds of stuff. And so I've talked to lifers, people who they murdered somebody, so they're gonna be in jail their whole life.
Was it more of a self-offense or retaliation?
So there's a lot of different reasons why, but what it boils down to is that, I'm saying like when it comes from the mentality behind it, what it boils down to is that America has deeply ingrained in its fabric that violence is power.
Yep.
And so yes, the places where there's hopelessness and poverty, you're going to see a lot of violence. But I think it's also it's a dangerous thing for us to think, it's mostly the poor people that's going to be committing violence. Because the truth of the matter is, it's white men in suits who kill more people around this world every day than the white T-shirts and sagging jeans are ever going to get a chance to kill.
Exactly.
But we market suits and ties very differently than we market T-shirts and sagging jeans.
We even call the crimes different, the white collar versus blue collar.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And so because America is built on violence, and that if you want to have power over someone, if you want to control somebody, you must use violence in order to do that. That is from the White House down to the crack house.
Right.
And so everybody, a lot of people are and we glorify it. It's not just that we talk about it, but we glorify it in our music, in our movies, and in our entertainment. Violence is the thing to do. And all of us come from the I wish a motherfucker would tribe. And You know, like,
say that quick.
and so, so we're just ready to. And and Baltimore is not the place to fuck with nobody.
No.
And so
Baltimore is inherently aggressive.
Yes.
And inherently the place, like Eric and I were talking the other day about how there's a lot of love in the city. So when you watch people who really care about each other interact, the love is there, but the love is hovering under the aggression, and people don't know how to manage aggression. So if you do something to me and I don't like what you did, me saying I don't like what you did and I don't like the way that you made me feel doesn't feel powerful.
Right.
Me
Feel
making
like you
you feel the way that making you feel the way you made me feel is this illusion of power.
Right.
And it's not. It's really not.
So everybody is looking for power outside of themselves.
Yes.
Right. And again, for me, it's about from the White House to the crack house. It's the way America is. And so for us, I think the Baltimore ceasefire is we don't think that it is like a fix-all at all, because there are so many factors that impact how somebody ends up killing somebody else. It's about the violence being power thing. It's about hopelessness. It's about fear, like Ellen G was saying.
So many elements.
It's so many things. It's about people just being oppressed in a society where white privilege is a thing that rules everything else, And so it's all of that stuff. And so we love Baltimore because you can find organizations in Baltimore working to heal all of those things.
Every single last
single one of those things. Baltimore is not a place where you can honestly be like, oh, nobody ain't doing shit. Everybody is doing something. You're just not looking. You're not looking.
Right, that's my thing.
You're not looking because there are organizations addressing all kinds of things in Baltimore. And so for us, the ceasefire is everybody. Just like I'm doing peace work every day and still feeling the sadness of watching people die around me. And I'm going, what's one more thing I haven't tried doing? I haven't tried. Let's tell everybody just for 72 hours, let's just take a break. Just nobody don't kill nobody. The mayor didn't say it. The police commissioner didn't say it. We are saying, let's just take a break. And I believe that people who live in a life where they do carry a gun every day, I believe they tired. I believe we need to cry for them sometime. What must that be like that you carry a gun with you every day for fear you might have to bust on somebody? Don't you need a break? I know they need a break from that because I know those niggas. So I love those niggas. Just like I love the ones that drop, I love the ones that's pulling the trigger. So, and it's not just those people who end up killing somebody. People die in random arguments all the time. People die in domestic violence situations. So we just feel like, can we just pause this? We're on track for having as many murders. People are getting killed every 19 hours in Baltimore right now. Every 19 hours. So it would be a big deal if we could just pause it for 72 hours for people to nobody worried about somebody getting killed this weekend because we all throwing cookouts and doing events and neighborhood cleanups and everybody just celebrating life that weekend because it's a ceasefire because we said we were going to do it.
Right. All right. So lead up to the events, are we going to, I guess, start walking into the ceasefire? You said you just was like, I'm tired of the whole situation. Every 19 hours, it was reportedly, and it's probably, that's someone getting shot, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of non-fatal
that's somebody getting killed, right? Yeah, like over the weekend there were like 13 shootings. One person died, but 13 people got shot.
Right. And a brief topic that I would like to talk to you young ladies about was an EMT told me that they actually don't call people dead on the street because Baltimore City have to pay a $5,000 victims fee. So they usually transport them to the hospital and call them dead at the hospital. So the family is not retrieving of that money. Have you heard of that before?
No, I have not, but I will absolutely look into it.
Right. So I've heard probably like 2 different males who were shot, victims of crime, and received the money because they knew. A lot of males who are in the system or been in the system before know their laws and know their rights, and they're informed and up to date on what is owed to them. But like we all talked about, ignorance is the biggest factor. So if you don't know it's owed to you, but I thought it was an urban myth. Like,
so what I do know is that there is, I guess they're talking about the criminal injuries compensation fund, right? And so what happens is when somebody is there's some kind of death or injury from some kind of crime, you can get this criminal injuries compensation board. It's like insurance basically. So it's a reimbursement though. So like you put out whatever amount and they will reimburse you, the victims. But one of the things that happens is that if you died while committing a crime or connected to a crime, that is a reason that they deny benefits for the family after you are dead.
Wow.
And so what's really hard about that, and I've been working on this issue for some years, is that there had not been, right, and what they don't always know. So people get killed and they weren't doing anything at the time. They were riding their bike when they got killed, or they were walking down the street and it was a setup and they got hit. So what this board has done in the past, I know, is they will look at that person's criminal record and they make a determination if they think you probably got killed related to something criminal. And so one way that we have fought that is there had never been anybody on that board who was a homicide survivor.
Okay.
So they didn't understand what you go through when you lose somebody to murder. And so now the law has changed so that there has to be a homicide survivor on that board helping to make the decisions about who gets that money.
Okay. All right.
But I'll look into this thing about moving bodies and shit, because that's some straight bullshit.
I mean, it's always a setup somewhere. Something is always
I'll
under
find
the rug. Because we just got a new mayor not too long ago, and I'm just was like, okay, she's talked so much positivity.
But that's the thing. So what I want to clear up is that thing that gives money is not a city agency.
Okay,
it's a state aid. It's a state. It's built
by
within.
Maryland,
yes,
right.
And it's a board through Maryland's Office of Victim Services.
Yeah.
So it's not even a Baltimore thing. So I do know that Baltimore,
for instance, Baltimore has
so what I know that Baltimore does is if your loved one is murdered on the streets of Baltimore, all people connected to that person gets free grief counseling for the rest of their life.
Okay, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's at the Family Bereavement Center.
Okay, where is it? Or should they just call 311? Or
if people ask for the Family Bereavement Center, then they will get connected. It is a part. So Victim Services in Baltimore is an arm of the state's attorney's office.
Do you know any resources for children?
Yes, Roberta's House is very good for providing grief counseling for children, because it's not just talk therapy, it's a lot of art and things like hands-on kinds of things, because the truth of the matter is trauma does not is not stored in your brain in the place where we have speech. Trauma is stored in your body memory. And so this is why if somebody touches you a certain kind of way, it'll make you jump. If you hear a particular kind of song, if the wind blows wrong, you get triggered. And so talk therapy often doesn't work when people have been traumatized, because the trauma is not stored in your brain where you have speech. Whereas if you give people paper and markers and paint and that kind of stuff, and you watch the kind of things they create, it tells you a lot about. That's right. It tells you a lot about what they've been through before and what they're feeling now.
Right. So, do you think it's like a psychological effect if someone was immediately impacted by violence and they wasn't talked about it, and they think that's acceptable? Like it's one cared, so then they think that violence it's like a perpetual.
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah. So the idea that I don't have any support in my grief and in my trauma. I mean, people respond to trauma different ways. Some people go internal. Some people react violently and externally. Like some people respond to trauma by traumatizing themselves.
Yes,
so you have people who act out. You have people who turn to alcohol. You have people who turn to substances. And then, I mean, people, you can never really predict the way somebody is going to respond to, because I can respond to trauma on Monday a very different way than I respond to it on Friday.
Right. Yes. I think, I guess coping mechanisms with any situation can be in any situation, like with
Right.
as far as you losing your job, using someone. So what are some coping mechanisms that you personally I'm just trying this is real people talk about real issues. So I'm not going to
Real
read no
people
textbook.
talk about real
right,
issues.
no,
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not going to read your textbook.
I'm gonna let
about-
Ellen G go first.
Yeah, let me.
tell me some coping.
So you have healthy coping mechanisms and you have unhealthy coping mechanisms, and for me, the
know what I
key
do.
to them is making sure that I'm not reacting from the hurt. So when I feel sad,
Okay.
making sure that I don't let me go to the bar. Making sure that I don't say that, because I understand that for me, alcohol depresses my system, and that's not going to make me feel better.
So instead of going to the bar, where should they go?
I can't tell other people where to go.
That's the
I can't
truth.
tell other people
Some
where to go.
people need a damn drink.
Some people need a drink to calm them down. Like for me, music is one of my happy places.
Yes.
Art is one of my happy places. Like those talking to my friends, people who I know are willing to listen to me and to support me, and everybody doesn't have that. So I can't tell people where to go. My only advice, if I had to give advice to people, is to don't do things that reinforce or feed your trauma. Yes. So if you know that you're more likely to become violent if you drink when you're sad, drinking probably isn't the thing that you should be doing.
Yeah.
If you know that you are trying to escape your pain, and in you escaping your pain, you go have sex with 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 people, don't bring those people into your pain that way. And it's easier said than done, because a lot of people don't even realize that they're operating in
You don't realize
that
it.
thing.
Oh my God, you really don't.
And then you
Yeah.
sit back and you're drunk and you got your drawers on the
Nothing
floor
fits.
and you're not understanding what the hell just happened.
And you're like, and who is this nigga
and who is
anyway?
it? Where he or she come from?
Where did it come from?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you talk about it.
I mean, I agree, because in real life, my coping mechanisms have ranged from, like, after I lost my brother, I was smoked out all the time. Like, and I didn't, thank goodness I didn't start smoking weed until I was in my 30s.
Wow.
Because I'd be a crack hoe by now.
That's why I don't smoke.
Because I was way
I
too
already
excited.
know.
I was calling everybody like, guess what I did last night? People was like hanging up on me like, girl, please.
Right. Been doing that.
And so I absolutely did that. And from that, what I learned was, like Ellen G is saying, I can't use weed. Like, I got to be purposeful about it. Like, am I doing it because I'm trying to run and escape and stay in an escape place? Or am I doing it because I really want to let some shit go? You know? And so weed does help me sometimes, just like, it get that fuck it in it. Like, who said that? What's his name?
Fuck that shit.
Yeah. And sometimes you need to say fuck that shit.
Comedian. Cat Williams. Cat Williams. We got that fuck it in it. Like, yes, okay. But so that's that. Which is not for everybody, and everybody shouldn't be doing it, and it's not my main coping mechanism. My main thing is that when I can't stay silent about it. Isolation is one of the worst things in the world, and all of us do that. Like, we get to this place, you don't want to talk about it, nobody understands, nobody has ever felt the shit that you feel, the way you feeling it right now.
But you got some brand new feelings.
Some new ones that nobody ever experienced,
felt
and
before.
nobody will understand, and nobody will listen to, and you don't want to put that on people. And black people have been taught to suck some shit up, which I think is a part of why we have which
it's
is
like, cry about it, talk about it, get it out.
So I think that what's hard about that is that suck it up and keep pushing is, I think, why we have survived as black people in America through all the things we have survived, because technically we should be extinct by now in real life. So some of that, but the what we got, there needs to be balance with that. You need to know when it's time to push, but the same things you're pushing through, you gotta have somebody you talking to that shit about, because isolation is the devil.
I don't talk about it. That's good that you talk about that.
No, it's the silence and the isolation that makes people go within internally and do some unhealthy stuff,
Right.
but then lash out externally
Right.
unhealthy just because they don't have anywhere safe
Full
to
time.
say
feel
that
like
stuff
right.
out loud. And so for me, I stay in her inbox all the time. The minute I'm about to punch somebody in their face,
Right.
the minute I'm about to cuss at somebody,
You
the
do
minute
need that
I
person,
feel
like,
sad
calm
or
down.
bad, yes, I
And
stay
if
in her
you don't
inbox.
have
or
that
call them.
person, buy a journal.
Yes,
I am an advocate for I just pour your thoughts out, and if you and you can read it when you're done or not read it, set it
Yeah.
on fire, whatever it is that you want to do to it.
Yeah.
But I am a firm believer that illness seeps into ourselves and and frustration and negative emotion and all those things seep into ourselves and cause cancer and cause heart disease and cause all of
yes.
these things. High blood,
that is
all
some
of this stuff.
scientific shit you speaking right there. It's
Just
the
to
truth.
stress
That
out.
is proven that stuff causes all types of sicknesses in your body.
And so our bodies are telling us all the time what it is that we need, but because we're not used to listening to it, like if I walk around with a stomach ache, so here's some metaphysical stuff for people. Your stomach,
about to get
and
Oh,
your
right
gut,
turn.
your stomach
It's
and your
a-
gut is a place where you process thoughts and ideas. That is
Right.
where all of those things are nurtured. That is where all of those things are processed and sometimes regurgitated. If you notice, a lot of people they carry extra weight around their stomach. And weight and quote unquote fat is your body's response to it's trying to comfort itself. Like it's trying to create a barrier between you and that other person. So when I see people with excess weight around their stomachs and like their arms, because your arms what is used to carry you forward in life and those kinds of things, that shows me that we're not processing things the way that we're supposed to be. So your body is literally
know,
holding on to
Our
things.
body is one of the greatest mechanisms made on this earth. It tells us everything.
Everything
If
that we
it-
want to know.
If something hurts, it's telling you to hurt to respond to that. If it's aching, it's telling you to respond to that. If
Right.
it feels good to you, it's you respond to that. Our body tells us exactly what it needs.
And we're so used to medicating things. Like if I have a headache, that's not because my body is missing Tylenol.
It's
That's
missing
not like-
Excedrin
Right.
migraine.
That's not the reason
Been in my
why.
window.
Is that not true? It's not missing Excedrin
like
migraine.
It's not missing that.
It's probably because I'm
It's
not
some-
drinking enough water
Right.
and I didn't
Right.
eat today.
Yeah, like you are literally, your body is literally telling you that something is going on.
Yeah.
And because we stressed out and everybody is busy surviving.
Yeah.
Like I understand why people ignore things, but at the end of the day, all you have is what you operate from.
physical.
That's all you have.
Yeah.
Well, a big coping mechanism, I believe, for me is just first I try to use empathy or sympathy or what I do. Before I try to bring a situation to someone and point fingers of what you did to me directly,
Yes. What is my
I
role?
try to understand what did I do?
That's really
What
good.
could I have said?
Right.
What could I have done to better accommodate you on how you're feeling also? Because you have your feelings too. You feel some kind of way. If I
Right.
feel some kind of way, it's
Right.
resulted off to each other's energy.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
the biggest thing is to me is what I can do. Once I think I process that, I usually try to meditate on my words because our tongue is so dangerous.
Honey.
Girl.
I really try, and I'm still beep, 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 but I meditate.
Girl.
Because our words cause so much pain.
Yep.
They cut deeper than a gun. Than a knife sometimes, and shooting a gun. The words.
They can poison you or water you.
And so
It's the truth.
with children now, like no one hurt them, but just because the words happen in school, you go home and hang yourself and kill yourself. And you're a child, you're 12 and 13 and 14.
Because
and
words
15.
have energy.
Because words do hurt. For so
Yeah.
long, I think the dumbest face, sticks and stones may break my bones,
Right.
but words will never hurt me.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
so
coming
That's
home.
a damn lie.
It's a whole lot.
I'm really subconscious about my forehead and my eyes. Like I was traumatized. Like big eyes, and your eyes pop out. It devastated me. I was
Yeah.
hurt. You
Yeah.
know, like little things hurt you, and it runs with you through life. You never know. Like sometimes a lot of childhood issues we don't address, and it kind of manifests to adult, and we still hold on to all those negatives and work because of words.
It's the
A lot
truth.
of people are walking around making decisions from pain and hurt.
Yes.
So, like, you have men who are out here selling drugs or having sex with a whole lot of women because somebody told them when they were little that they weren't good enough.
Right.
And so in their mind, it's like, oh, I'm going to prove you wrong. No, you said, I'm going to prove you wrong. I mean, and I listen to people a lot, and I listen to people talk about what motivates them. And unfortunately, like, their motivation is not internal, it's external. So I'm going to be fly because all these motherfuckers told me when I was growing up that I wasn't never going to be shit.
That's so true.
I'm about a new bag.
Right, exactly.
On these bitches.
Right.
That's sad if we really think about
it's
that.
True, though.
We all have our own insecurities. We all put this pressure on to impress people who's so worried about themselves that they depressed inside internally. Like, we're all worried about the wrong things.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I just would like to start walking into slowly the dates. So,
okay. For the ceasefire?
Yeah.
All right. So, the ceasefire is from Friday, August 4th to Sunday, August 6th. And the goal is for everybody in Baltimore to be making a commitment to not kill anybody that weekend. To not do anything that gets anybody killed that weekend.
I'm definitely putting away my 45.
That's right.
Thank you, ma'am.
I am. I'm locking
Thank you
up.
very much,
That's
ma'am.
right.
I'm putting it in my safe deposit box.
And instead that weekend to be doing fun things, whatever that is, as big as you want it to be or as small as you want it to be, but to be having conversations with people like, I'm saying tell 3 people a day about the Baltimore ceasefire. Hey, did you know the first weekend in August, everybody agreeing not to kill nobody that weekend? Like, and start the conversation like that.
I committed myself. I think a lot of niggas wait till the last minute. So
That's
I
right.
thought August the 1st, every post I see, I'm going to post a flyer. They going to get so tired. Like,
That's right.
Like, if you don't stop posting this flyer.
Yeah.
Like, you want me to stop posting, send it to 3 people.
And
like,
you asked me that earlier, but that's a really good point. That's why we
Every
put it in
post.
August.
Right.
Because we need it so we thought about it in May, like, oh yeah, let's do it. But if we had done it that next weekend, nobody would have known about it.
Right.
It doesn't have a chance to be even a little bit successful unless we have enough time for Baltimore to be flooded with this message that the citizens of Baltimore are agreeing with each other that we are going to keep Baltimore 72 hours apeace.
Right.
But we need time to get that word out. So if people would go and follow our Facebook page, which is facebook.com, right, just Baltimore Ceasefire, and because we are going to be putting posters all over Baltimore. We're hitting Mondawmin on Friday from 6 to 9, giving out flyers. So anybody who wants to join us, if you just meet us at Mondawmin by the Rite Aid on the inside of the building, by the Rite Aid, yes, at 6 o'clock, from 6 to 6:15, we're going to give you flyers and prep you for like questions people might ask and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then send everybody off into the mall. If you get there late and you want to, you can come between 6 and 8. If you can send a text message to 443-622-3924. That's my phone number.
Give it to them one more time.
443-622-3924. If you get to Mondawmin after 6:15 and you want to help give out flyers to let people know about the Baltimore ceasefire. This is you accepting the Baltimore Peace Challenge.
Yes.
That's the second piece of it. We know that this is a challenging thing. So Baltimore Peace Challenge is also what this is. We're challenging people to get involved, to tell each other about it, to really do something to help get the word out so that people know. So what we don't want to happen is somebody gets killed or shot that weekend and that person says, I didn't know it was a ceasefire this weekend. If you did it, I want you to at least have to think through that shit first, like, hey, this the ceasefire this weekend, and I'm out to be the asshole that's gonna kill somebody.
I'm gonna be the one person.
Everybody
this
in
whole
Baltimore is being like, no, we're not gonna kill nobody this weekend.
Don't you be that
Fuck them, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, okay, if that's your journey, that's your journey,
Right.
and I'll be sending you compassion.
I know
I'm
we
just
can
saying,
do it.
but enough people have to know that it's a thing to do.
Okay.
That's the thing. So everybody needs to be talking about it.
So the challenge in reverse, just tell 3 people a day.
Tell 3 people a day that you haven't
3
told
people a
already.
day.
3 people a day. Go to the Facebook page, share, don't just share things. So that and the hashtags are hashtag Baltimore Ceasefire, hashtag Baltimore Peace Challenge. You can make up your own if you want to as well.
It's not. There's no.
Your name, your contact information. Who are you exactly?
So my name is Erica Bridgeford, also known as E Wonder, and I'm the director of training at Community Mediation Maryland. So I do piecework. Yeah. So I train mediators and people in conflict resolution all the time. But as it relates to the ceasefire, I just got hurt one day and mad about what other people weren't doing. So I asked my friends to help everybody in Baltimore make this commitment.
People or organizations or individuals who
have said
reached out to you about it.
S. Monique Person Smith, who is one
the bomb.
Shout out to
absolutely, yes, she is absolutely wonderful.
I like to see you and talk to you, S. Monique Person Smith.
And tell us why she the bomb, Ellen G. What she did?
Because her way of taking the Peace Challenge was to put on the marquee of her building # Baltimore Peace Challenge, and so it's running as long as her building is open. So people will ride past and they'll see this thing, and it's like, well, what is the Baltimore Peace Challenge? Yeah. And if people with a healthy sense of curiosity, they'll Google it and they'll find out what it is that we're doing.
Yeah. I think she has both hashtags going.
She probably does. Yeah, I saw the Baltimore Peace Challenge one. It is on 23rd Street. I think 300 West 23rd Street. Okay. But I'm not. But we posted about it.
It's on our page, so you can go find it.
So yeah, you can go see it on the ceasefire page. And we had a gentleman donate 3,000 flyers.
Woo,
to us. 3,000 flyers.
Each of us need all of us.
Everybody needs a flyer. Dames Arts, who is our official T-shirt vendor, has agreed to produce Baltimore Ceasefire T-shirts for people, and they are $7. So you can go get a T-shirt from him. And he told me today, he said, well, somebody reached out to me and they asked, she said she wanted a custom design T-shirt to match her tennis shoes. She can get whatever she wants.
She wants.
She wants a red, black, and green, and she wants yellow and orange. Like whatever color you want. Whatever color you want. And so he's the person who's doing that. And then we just have citizens. Like shout out to Valerie Keys. Shout out to Jakia Jones, Darnell Wharton, Ogun Gordy.
That's how I met you ladies.
Oh, it was through Ogun?
Yes.
Nice.
He sent me an email.
The Terra Cafe, the Big Bean Theory.
Oh, Scott Akbar made the freaking logo, flyers, and the logo. Everything.
Yeah. So
that dopeness was all him.
Mike Nice of Hip Hop Chronicles on WEAA, Sean Yost on WEAA. So Mahogany Brown, you have taken the Peace Challenge by bringing us on board and talking about it. So it's not complicated. A lot of people want to make it more complicated than what it really is, and you just wake up and just love people that whole weekend.
That's it. Yeah. So what's great about what Sean did is he has a show on Morgan's radio, and he has said every Thursday from 5 to 6 he'll have us on, people talking about the ceasefire on every Thursday until that weekend. PFK Boom of the 300 Gangsters has agreed. He was one of the first people I called, and he agreed to have
300 Gangsters. Mm-hmm. Oh, that is so cool. So if you're a gangster, I know a couple of gangsters out there. Don't let me call you out.
Yeah. Right. So that's their thing. They say they're gangsters who also do street activism.
Okay.
And keep. So I said, will y'all be telling niggas not to kill nobody? No, if y'all say don't do it, people in that area at least
I want to go. I know them on Dormant. I want to go on the blocks. That's what me. I'm
hand combat also.
We're not coming over east. Yeah. Sorry. Say no.
So we absolutely are gonna be doing that. We also flyers don't make themselves.
Oh, okay.
And posters don't print themselves.
How can we do funding?
So people can through PayPal. Our email is bemoreceasefire@gmail.com, and so you can send any amount through PayPal that way. We also, if you go to our page, we do have a T-shirt that people can buy, and we get half of the sales from the T-shirt.
Okay.
And that's helping us to be able to buy things. And so from people's donations so far, we were able to just recently, from their offerings, thank you, because donations are normally tax deductible, and we are not an organization. We're just a bunch of people. We're a bunch of people who love Baltimore and asking everybody to love Baltimore too. Awesome. And so we're not a nonprofit. So so
people-
those
just
aren't
people got
tax
together and
deductible.
care.
They're just
Yeah,
we're giving
just
money
people that
so we
care.
can buy
Yeah.
flyers and posters.
Flyers
so
and
from
posters.
people's gifts, we've been able to now buy 500 posters that we're gonna set a date where we're gonna be asking people to come with us to start tagging Baltimore with all these posters and
For
putting
all
them
these
up
days
everywhere.
coming up, so if you got a cookout, let me know your cookouts. I'm
Yeah.
gonna come with some flyers.
Come through. Come through.
Post your cookout, inbox me your cookout deets.
Yeah. So we can come through with those flyers.
Flyers.
And get some
For sure.
plates. Yes.
Yeah.
Flyers
burger.
at the cookout.
Yeah.
Because we want a lot more for us
Yeah.
around.
And if people decide to do an event that weekend, even if it's something small for your community, but you want help with it or you want people to know, go to our Facebook page, the Baltimore Ceasefire Facebook page, or email us at bmoreceasefire@gmail.com and let us know what you're doing, because we'll send it out to our listserv and to all our almost 1,000 followers already on Facebook.
Yes.
And everybody will see what it is you're doing, and if so they'll know to come or they'll know to support it or whatever.
And they can get inspired and say,
And
oh,
say,
what
oh,
are you doing?
we
A
can
cook
do
day? That's what they doing? Okay, well, this is
We
what I
want
want
to
to
do
do.
that too.
Not to
Yes.
put you ladies on the spot. A lot of people just don't know what to do or the extracurricular activities and what to do. So I'll start by 3 activities I know you can do, and you can
Okay.
let the
All right,
people
good.
know
Let me
suggest
think.
3 activities they can
Yeah.
do, and you can suggest.
Yeah.
So one activity can be just getting together, having a cookout with everybody, playing
Yeah.
spades games, playing dominoes, teaching the children how to play spades. They don't even know how to play spades anymore. And just talking amongst each other. Make sure the elderly that's in your family are cool. Bring them over and just talk to them. Because
that's
their
nice.
wisdom, their knowledge, their understanding, a
Talk
really
to
enlighten
elders.
you.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, visit someone who you haven't talked to in a while during that time is another resource.
Nice.
I like also being active. A kickball game, going to a local park
Nice.
and just getting the ball. Ball is no more than $5.
Yeah.
Make some combs up or some bases up and do a kickball game.
Yeah.
Interactive, it's fun, it's something you can do. Also getting together and creating a little store for your community to donate, and as a community take all the kids in the community somewhere for a trip. So
Right.
that could be something you do over the weekend. All sales and proceeds for your new snowball stand or
Yep.
chips that you bought at Sam's
Yep.
Club or fruit
Absolutely.
snacks or juices. Take all that money and over them few days and do something with the kids, other communities. So it's different things you can do. I'm just trying to give you opportunities and options, because you may not know what can I do, because you've been worrying about the struggle all over your head and on your back the whole summer.
Right.
So this is options, and you can also go to like the nearest rec center. They have a library open available to you at all times to get on the computer. Can you come up with some ideas that can help?
So what I'm gonna, a lot of those I love. Neighborhood cleanups are
Yes.
also really good. What I am going to be doing on that Saturday morning is doing a walking meditation at the Labyrinth on 33rd Street at the new Y that got built
Labyrinth
some
on
years ago.
33rd Street.
And so, because walking through the labyrinth is, people often do it when they're grieving a lost one, someone that they lost. And so, but for a lot of reasons, because it symbolizes coming out from the world and taking a journey into the center of your being.
Okay.
And then standing there for a moment and bringing back out whatever you got
That
from that
meditation
middle
is
place and
necessary.
bringing it back out. And so it's a silent walk. So however many come, we'll just all be there silently walking the labyrinth. And you look down while you're walking, because you're actually looking at your path and where you are on your journey in the labyrinth until you get to the center, and then you get whatever happens in your soul in the middle and you bring it back out. And so that's something that I'm going to be doing that Saturday morning, and asking anybody to come if they want to.
33rd, the Labyrinth, come out.
Yeah, I'm going.
Aren't doing
It'll be
anything?
on the page and on my page.
Okay.
So my suggestions for people, visit landmarks in Baltimore. So
Oh, wow.
if you haven't been to the National Great Blacks and Whites Museum, to use that weekend as an opportunity to visit that. If you haven't visited or if it's been a while since you've been there, go check them out. Visit the Reginald F. Lewis Museum. Yeah, go see them. I have a list of Black-owned businesses in Baltimore City in and around the Baltimore community. Yep. And people can inbox the Ceasefire page on Facebook, and I'll give them that, and you can pick random Black-owned businesses and just go and see what they're about. And even if you don't have money to buy, to go to meet the people, talk to them, find out what they have to offer, and familiarize yourself with those elements of Black culture in Baltimore City.
Okay. Also, that you're talking about visiting certain landmarks in Baltimore. Baltimore has so many landmarks. I'm not sure if you heard of Urban Quest or Urban Adventures. It's actually like a Amazing Race.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
And you have different teams or groups or individuals can do different key points, like find the memorial where he had a dream. And then you gotta think like, who had a dream? And you go to the Martin Luther King.
Kind of like a scavenger hunt.
Right? It's like that. Or meet where the port, where the water lies and the ships come. That's been going down to the town, to the inner harbor. Urban Quest or Urban Adventures. I've done it in San Francisco. Nice. I've done it in New York. I've done it in.
There's one in Baltimore.
It's one in Baltimore.
Nice.
Yeah, that's or also visit. A lot of people haven't visited. There's a lot of updated things in the Science Center. And the aquarium. I'm pretty sure they got 2 new fish in the aquarium.
Right. At least 2.
Oh, and by then it might be Fridays after 5. I'm gonna catch that. Every summer the aquarium does $5 on Fridays after 5.
So maybe we have individuals there on Friday rather than all the hoopla they usually have been doing Friday. That's also a good thing. So I want to just close out with you ladies. First of all, getting the contact information from each one of you directly, and just slow it down so everyone can basically record all the information on how to get in contact with you and how to follow the movement. Because this is just the first.
Who are you kissing at? You know some people.
I think we should.
I know she know everybody all the goddamn time.
Come on out here, Nate.
People think I be knowing people. I don't know nobody. I always, after people hug me, I be ask her who they were. I don't know.
She just celebrate my birthday. You see her Wonder Woman shirt and her bling.
Yes, with the Wonder Woman. Come through with the Wonder Woman on. Do y'all see she got on Wonder Woman?
You see her. Representing.
Yes.
We definitely got to show love to each other. Definitely.
That is so
you
awesome.
See somebody, speak to somebody, say hi. Ask them how they doing. You never know what someone going through. Take the time just to text someone you haven't texted before. Ask them, how are you?
Yeah, and have the time to listen to the answer to that question.
Have the time to listen. Because that's important.
Yeah.
How you doing? Catching up. So, like I said, we get your contact information. You already did the
you coming from this direction? Okay, so if you wanna, my personal Facebook page is public, so anybody can come. And my name is Erica Bridgeford. So my first name is ERRICKA, last name Bridgeford, and that's exactly as it sounds. So ERRICKA. Also, the Baltimore Ceasefire Facebook page is just Baltimore Ceasefire. So if you search that, you'll find it pretty easily. We aren't as popping on Instagram and Twitter yet.
That's all right.
But it's also at Baltimore Ceasefire on Instagram, and it's Be More Ceasefire on Twitter. And generally, if we post something to Instagram, we automatically share it to Twitter too. So you should be able to see it both places.
And how can we contact you?
Yep. So I'm Ellen G on Facebook, ELLENGEE. And I am. The website is BaltimoreCeasefire.weebly.com. So BaltimoreCeasefire.weebly.com. Okay. You can get updates about our previous meetings and get information about upcoming meetings on our website.
That just reminded me, we probably need to update the website.
Yes, we do.
Looked at it in a while.
Put some administrative stuff on there. Yes.
Go to the website in like 2 days.
Right.
But the Facebook page, everything is there.
Everything. Shit.
Yeah.
Call us in 3 days.
We're ready for you.
Because really the website is like a landing page. Is that what you call it?
Yeah. It's just information. Like there is not a whole lot of interaction. If you want to interact with us, the email and the Facebook are the best ways to connect with us.
And please send money through PayPal. Be More Ceasefire@gmail.com. $1, $5, $100.
We got to pay for these posters. Or if you know somebody
Who do posters,
who do
donation
posters,
services,
and want to donate posters, and
That's
that is
right.
the way
We
that
will
they
send
take the
them
Baltimore Peace Challenge.
We will send them the stuff that
We
they
sure
can print
will.
out.
We will send you what
if
you
you know
need.
any graphic designers that just want to volunteer their time and put that on their resume.
Yeah, come on with it.
Yay.
All right. So, like I said, personally, let me know what dates and times, events that I can be there helping, passing out flyers.
Yes, ma'am.
Give me some time, like a day before, so I know exactly what time.
Oh, well, before we leave, I have your email address.
Right,
I'll
yes,
put you on the
yes.
listserv,
Email
so
me
you'll get
anytime.
all the
I will
information when we
answer
send it
email.
out. Yeah. Okay.
All right. We're about to close it up. That has been a whole hour talking about August the 2nd through the 4th.
No,
4th through the 6th.
I'm sorry, August, it's the 4th through the 6th.
Yep, Friday,
August
Saturday,
the
and
4th
Sunday.
through the 6th.
Right.
Friday,
August the
Saturday,
4th.
and Sunday.
If all you can
Friday,
remember is the
Saturday.
first weekend in August,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah, first
Starting
weekend
with
in August.
Friday.
Put the guns down.
Don't
Let
bust
it
your
go.
gun.
The guns, the knives, the bats, the
mace.
mace.
Nobody got you fucked up.
Nobody.
Not that weekend.
We don't want
that
no
weekend.
problem.
Not that weekend.
We
Not
don't
that
want no
weekend.
problems.
Be like, it ain't even that serious. Because it's not.
All right. Thank you again for tuning into it. Going down with your girl Mahogany Bound. This has been a topic that we all need to talk about: the Baltimore ceasefire. Each of us need all of us, and I'm just a person, a real person that came from Baltimore, raised and born in Baltimore City, that want to change. And if you want to change too, August the 4th through the 6th, tell 3 people every day. Till then, if you're on my Facebook, I will post this flyer on your page every day. Until then, call me out. I will do it. Thank you again for tuning into our show. And thank you, ladies, too. I really enjoyed you, ladies.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah.
It takes somebody to stand up. I talk about camaraderie so much, about somebody just taking a stand and being like, we got to change.
Yeah.
But it takes a unit as a whole. I always say, if all of us as a unit, as a whole, organize our aggression and walk and move as a unit, they can't stop us.
Absolutely
We're
not.
unstoppable together.
Yeah.